Previously on Ballz.
Steve,
Yes, sir.
how are you doing today? It's Ballz Radio.
How are you?
Very, very good. Thanks, Steve. Always happy to get some of your pearls of wisdom when we catch up with you. And, of course, everybody is talking Soweto Derby this weekend, but, of course, you have a big Free State Derby coming up.
It's gonna be a hectic week.
Hectic week. So, obviously, you will be watching Chiefs Pirates, first of all, right?
Yeah, we have to watch them with interest because depending what happens there, it's got a huge bearing in terms of the log standing. It's got a huge bearing in terms of the log standing.
Pirates win that one. It's all tied up. 30 points each at the top of the log. And you guys have got Celtic on Sunday. We'll get to that in a moment. We were just chatting, going, and maybe you know, or maybe you don't. You're a Chiefs man. Are you supporting them this weekend?
Why put me on a spot man at Free State Stars? You can't ask me that.
Yeah, try and take away your Free State Stars coach mantle away just for a moment and put on your player's hat again, or your supporter's hat.
Now you're ripping my heart apart because now you want me to read my heart, and I don't want to give away a lot.
Then you can just say you want to draw.
I have to be very careful. There's a Chinese proverb that be careful what you say because you might as well get it. But what I think is going to happen, let the best team win. Both teams have been doing tremendously well.
Yeah.
And I went to Stuart Baxter. Guy is knowledgeable, very passionate about the game, knows his business, and he knows how to manage his players as well. You can see at how Chiefs respond and how they bounce back after setbacks. The setback they had in Rustenburg, how they bounced back, and the feel within the team. It tells you that the guy knows how to manage players. And West, difficult to manage a South African player, but when you have a foreigner coming into our country and knowing exactly how to manage these South African players, that should be something to be commended. But on the other hand, my friend Roger decided Pirates as well. I wouldn't want to wish him bad. As a result, I get tight-lipped to say, what do I say in relation to that derby? So we'll be watching it with interest. And whatever happens there, we'll just have to see. In terms of mathematics, Pirates 27, Chiefs at 30. And we're still there at the humble 18. We're saying if they could play a draw, it will help us mathematically.
Exactly, that's what I say. Just say you want to draw. But reading between the lines of what you were saying earlier before that, I'm saying you're sort of looking at Chiefs 2-0. Chiefs 2-0.
No, you have to strike a hell of a good balance. Try use emotions. Much as you're trying to be emotional, be rational as well.
Yeah.
And not forgetting your standpoint. You can wish well of your friend and enemy wherever they are. But consider your position as well, because you might find yourself in the quagmire.
Yeah. Also, something else I kind of picked up from what you were saying about Stuart Baxter, is that maybe South Africa kind of got rid of his expertise a little too quickly last time he was here.
You know, it is sad, and without reference or implicating other people. If you look at Carlos Queiroz, great job. The guy unbelievably organized, went to Manchester United, went to Real Madrid, had an opportunity to work with him. I understand exactly how he operated. I couldn't believe that, goodness me. Can't we see that this man has got something to offer this country? And the same went to Stuart. Now, somebody at some stage was asking me, would you draw a direct comparison between Stuart Baxter and Carlos Queiroz? And I said, Carlos Queiroz, in terms of organizational skill, Carlos can work with 20 people, and each one of them would feel they have a sense of responsibility.
Yeah.
And Stuart Baxter, in terms of content, the guy knows his game. That's why I love listening to his post-match interviews, even the pre-match interviews, because there's a lot that coaches give away during those interviews. And when you listen to Stuart, and you get something like, okay, every day he speaks. When he speaks to be understood. And when you listen to him, you really learn a lot. And it's refreshing. Sometimes we coaches just get out there and say things. And when you sit down and ask yourself, excuse me, what did he say? And you don't remember a word of what I said. I think when Stuart speaks, after he said whatever, if you have been paying attention to his game, you see a reflection of his game in his statements.
Absolutely. All right. Now, listen, the other game, the big one for you this weekend, are your guys already Free State Stars confident you've got to be in a nice little comfort. I mean, look, you've got some points to make up on the top two, so a draw would suit you guys better, and a win would be crucial because then you'd cut that lead to less than or single figures.
I don't know. And, immediately thinking of these games, let me take a direct reference into our match against Luton Celtic. It is, I don't know whether it's coincidental, accidental, by design or what. Every time we have to play against them, it looks such a confrontation. If you look at the number of points they have, they're sitting on 17.
Yeah.
And we are sitting on 18. That's a direct confrontation.
Yeah.
Whoever wins this match will obviously move a step further and be more comfortable. Now it shows you the levels of both teams. Even before we played the semi-final, we were still within 5 and 6. They were just there on top of us. And that tells you there might not be too big a difference between the two teams, but the difference is made by the pain we felt when they knocked us out of the semi-final of the Telkom Cup. Because surely, much as yes, it is true, results are results you have to take because there is no comment on the result column. We lost the match, but I strongly believe that on the day, we could have gotten something. Now this one. So we have to dig deep, fight hard, and try get a result. Because after this result, you go to Christmas comfortably. Now, when you start the second round, you know that maybe you still have to make maybe 25 or 30 points, then you are okay.
Yeah. And you got that big gap as well with the African Cup of Nations in between as well. So it'll be nice to sort of finish, before that starts in a position where you can maybe have a launch or an assault at the top if any of those teams do stumble.
Yeah, in fact, from our own point of view, we're saying we need to run these 3 remaining matches credibly so that at least in Jan, when you have time to maybe get a few acquisitions, maybe close here and there in cases where you had the unfortunate incident of Katlego Mashego getting injured, Diego Soriolo as well getting injured, 1 or 2 spots where you felt you could have done better in terms of quality. That gives you a bit of time. By the end of the AFCON, you would have done something. So you're saying if we could only go through these 3 matches and get maybe this number of points, it helps. But then the AFCON as well, that break is going to be either a killer or a maker. For those who cannot plan appropriately and properly or do what is required to move forward, it's going to be a serious challenge. But then we are looking to use that break as a maker to try and make up in areas where we thought we didn't do that well.
Well, Steve, if it's, I don't know if it's going to mean anything or count for anything, but I will be in solidarity with Free State Stars in the eastern part of the Free State on Sunday when you guys are playing. I'm heading up to Clarence, so I'll be thinking about you guys.
What about Soweto? Don't run away from that. What about Soweto? Where would your allegiance be? Where would you be?
No, Chiefs always. When they play Pirates, always Chiefs. I'm a super sport man, so but I've always favored Chiefs over Pirates.
You must tell Garden that football still has a lose and a win.
We spoke to Gavin yesterday, and I said to him, "Have you seen your log? 14 games, 1 win, and you've got 14 points. How does that work?"
It's unbelievable.
It's crazy.
The difference between scoring a goal and not scoring has put him where he is. So many draws.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. It's the most bizarre thing.
Thank you so much for
Thanks, Steve. All the best. Have a lovely weekend, and good luck for the game on Sunday.
You.
Cheers, man. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I enjoy speaking.
Oh man,
everyone knows it.
I enjoy speaking to him more than Neil Collins.
This is Ballz Visual Radio. Darren, Simon, Kate, and John. Weekdays from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central African Time. Ballz.co.za